Yo, what's going on, everyone? Purple Pickle is here, and today we are here with the draft analysis for the IPA Season 2. Now, if you actually have been following my channel, you know I've been dead for a little bit. I've just been busy with school, I've been busy with the Players' Cup, and I felt kind of lost motivation because, I don't know, I didn't do as well as I hoped, but I still did good, don't get me wrong. Video coming with that soon, of me playing with it. But yeah, so we're gonna get back into it with the IPA Season 2. Spoilers for Season 1 if you don't know already or care enough to care about spoilers. I did lose, but I did make it to playoffs. As I said in my last video, I was confirmed to make playoffs. I did. I was bottom seed, but I made it. I lost in a good battle against Beefy Fairy. It was pretty close, but he won. So yeah. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Today we're here to talk about my new draft and this new season where we're gonna win easy. We're just gonna win easy, no problem. Alright, so let's go through my drafting process and why I drafted each Pokemon, all that good stuff. So first up, we have Megalopoly. Now, if you didn't know, Megalopoly just so happened to be the Mega on the team of the person who won the last season of the IPA. And the first season of the IPA ROM. So you see, people with Megalopoly kind of just win here. It's confirmed. We're gonna win. Easy. Nah. We're gonna have to work for it, but my plan is to keep that legacy going, you know? So, alright. Yeah, so Megalopoly, normal fighting. You can see here that its stats and stuff. It's got this. Oh yeah, this is Ballhawk's prep, by the way. It's so ununderstandably useful. Like, honestly, I'm going to link it in the description if you don't know it already, and you're going to use it. If you have draft matchups, you're going to use this. That's just simple. It's mainly a singles thing, but I guess it kind of works for doubles too. Not as well, but yeah, it's still a solid prep doc. I'm getting off topic. Anyways, Megalopoly. By far the fastest Pokemon on my speed with a blazing 135 speed and a really solid 136 attack with all kinds of coverage. It's Ice Punch. I think it's all the punches. It gets U-turn. It gets Triple Axle. I forgot what else it gets, but it gets lots. But it gets a fair bit of coverage, as most normal types do. And it has okay defenses. No, not really. It can take one neutral hit with 65, 94, 96, but that's not its main thing. It's fast, hits hard, and it's fast, hits hard, and it's got good coverage. So it's kind of just a no-brainer. It's a solid Mega Pokemon. So I decided to put it on my team. Next up, we have Dragonite, who I was actually planning to draft originally in the IPA Season 2 last season, but things kind of took a different turn. But this time, it turned out to work perfect. One of Megalopoly's main weaknesses is fighting types, and Dragonite covers that with a nice fighting resist. And Dragonite's also like a very flexible Pokemon. It could be a great sweeper with Dragon Dance and Extreme Speed. It could just be banned with Extreme Speed, to be honest. I mean, 134 attack is the second highest attack stat on my team, rivaled only 2 points below Megalopoly. So yeah, this thing can hit hard, but it's got good defensive stats. 91, 95, 100 is great. Combine that with multi-scale, and you're vibing. So yeah, it's very versatile because it's a great sweeper, but it's also a good support mon. Roost, Defog, Heal Bell. It's got all kinds of good support moves that I can use to support the team. So I can either run it offensive or defensive. That's the beautiful thing about Dragonite. And in a Draft League, that's really great. And then next up we have Necrozma, who the same could be said. You can run a defensive set, an offensive set, or a mix of both or you could run a mix of both. Necrozma is just versatile. I love it. It's got rocks, as you can see here. It's got tons of great coverage. It can do physical, it can do special, it can do Dragon Dance, it can do Atomized Weakness Policy. It can do iron, it can do stored power sets. It can do everything. So yeah, very, very flexible mon. And overall, a great pick for my team. Next up, we have Rotom Heat. Now, oh my gosh, I love Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat, I've drafted in the Speed Tour. Yes, Rotom Heat is just amazing. I cannot overstate how much I love this mon, how much it synergizes with the team. Rotom Heat is only weak to two things. Rock and water. Dragonite resists water, and Megalopoly Does it resist rock? Let me check the type chart. It does happen to resist rock. And it counters rock really hard. And it also beats water. And my next member, Zarude, completely destroys water, as well as my lower tier Electivire. And I have a water absorber. So, like, Rotom Heat's pretty covered here, and it covers the rest of the team well. It's got great tools, Volt Switch, Defog, a solid attack stat with Overheat, Electric Fire is an amazing typing, Heavy Duty Boots make it a great defogger. Honestly, it's just got so much going for it. It's just, such a good mod. Fire Electric coverage is great. It also gets Dark Pulse for coverage, which you almost never use. It can run Nasty Plot as well, which can be fun. Right, it can run Scarf, it can run Specs, it can run Supportive, like Defog, Pivoter. It can do a lot of things. So as you can see, the main thing with my upper tiers, besides Mega Lopunny, but even that's flexible to a degree, just not in the same caliber as the others. But basically, these three mons are the flexible mons. They're the ones who can come to a lot of matchups and do different things. Like, if I need something, then one of these three is going to be able to do it, and I can alternate them around. If I want the offensive Necrozma, I can run like defensive Dragonite or Rotom Heat, and vice versa. I can run. They're kind of the flexible trio I like to call it. They can fill each other's shoes very nicely. They're not all exactly the same, but I just like how flexible they are. Next up is Zarude. Zarude, oh, this is a fun one. So looking at stats, solid 105 attack and HP and defense, and 95 special defense. That's fine. Its typing isn't the greatest defensively, especially being quadruple weak to U-turn. But it is the only mon on my team weak to U-turn and bug. So, and it's got some good resistance and stuff, so it can take hits alright. But it's the speed and attack that make it so good. 105 speed is pretty great. It's not the best in the world, it's not Mega Lopunny good, but it's really solid. And 120 attack is nothing to sneeze at. Especially when boosted by something like Band or Extra Belt or Life Orb or anything. It can run defensive with Bulk Up, it can just run Scarf and outspeed a lot of things. It can run Band and just tear through everything. Because Band coming off a 120 attack stat is not going to be fun, especially with it coming off of things like Power Up and Dark Slurry. It doesn't get knockoff, which is unfortunate, but you can't get everything. Otherwise, there might actually be like a bit higher if it got knockoff. So you know what, we're just gonna take it, alright? Next up is Stack Attack. I wanted a Steel type, and I wanted a Rock type, and I wanted something that was, I don't know, I just kind of, Zack Attack is a good Steel type and a Rocker as well. They're very physically defensive. It just kind of fit well, and I thought it would be cool to use and be fun, so Stack Attack. Maybe once he's alright, Max Attack, Stack Attack. Oh my gosh, dude. I cannot take credit for that pun. I was watching a Pokegame video, his Choice Band Stack Attack one, and he used that in there. I'm sorry, it was just too funny not to include. So yeah, it's got great defensive qualities with a 100, with 210 and 211 defense. Like, there's almost nothing that has a higher defense stat than that. And 130 attack is like, that's like the third highest attack stat on my team. That's really, really good. And I mean, 101 special defense is not that bad, as long as it's not coming off of ground or fighting. You can usually take a hit, even like a water scald or something. You can usually take one with that and then fire back with a gyro ball or rock slide or whatever. So yeah, very solid mon. It can also go and also body press. That too, I forgot. It gets that generation as well. Like, this thing, it does do so much. It's a pretty versatile mon, and it's just great, honestly. Glad to have it on the team. Next up is Seismitoad. So the Seismitoad Florges duo is interesting because, like, I originally intended to have Swampert or Aromatisse have the lower tier Fairy and then the higher tier Water Ground. But Swampert and Aromatisse both got sniped for me, so I had to work with Seismitoad Florges. Swampert did open up, but it would have messed up my point system, so I decided to keep Seismitoad. I'm honestly kind of glad I did, because Seismitoad's pretty cool. It doesn't have Flip Turn, which is a huge big deal. That's the only thing that really stings about Seismitoad. Other than that, it's a little bit bulkier, I think. No, I think it's about the same bulk. It has a lesser attack stat, but it has more interesting abilities. Like Water Absorb and Swift Swim and Poison Touch are definitely better abilities than Tauren or Damp. Although Tauren is is a fine ability. Water Absorb just gives you a straight up immunity. And Swift Swim can be nice against opposing rain. Lemon, if you're watching this, Swift Swim Seismitoad, buddy. Oh, yeah, Lemon has drafted rain. Oh, trust me, that would be fun. That would be funny if I just ran like Swift Swim Scarf Seismitoad to just outspeed everything on this team, even in rain. That would be hilarious. Oh wait, I don't even need that to outspeed Swampert. I could just be like Band Jolly or something, and then just beat him with Liquidation. Or Specs, actually, depending on the set. But you know what? We're gonna say that for the Lemon battle, alright? We do have to battle. Alright, so basically Seismitoad's pretty cool. It's got coverage, it gets Stealth Rocks. There's just a lot of things. It's pretty good. It's only got one weakness, which my team covers very, very well. In fact, it's the only Mon weak to Grass. Yep, I am correct on that statement. So yeah, it's just a really solid Mon that feels what I need to. Next up is Florges. I like Florges because, I mean, it's kind of the complement to Stakataka in a sense. Because, like, Stakataka is a big physical beast, while Florges is a main special beast. But they both do different things. Stakataka is a bit more offensive, while Florges is almost purely supportive. Although, offensive Florges heat? Maybe in 1 week. You'll have to stay tuned to figure out. So yeah, both of its abilities are basically useless, but you know what? Honestly, it doesn't need its abilities. It's got good enough stats, it's got Wish, it's got Aromatherapy, got a solid special attack stat, and a good fairy typing. Overall, just a very solid Mon for the team. Next up, we have Muck. This is not in the order I drafted them, actually, but I drafted Electivire before Muck. But Muck, I need a grounded poison, and I need it to be really cheap, and I'm like, wait, hold up. I can just draft Muck. Muck's decent, it's grounded poison. I'll take it. So it's a 1-pointer, which means it's probably not going to be brought often. It's not the most amazing one. I mean, okay, 105 attack is okay, 105 HP, but just its typing isn't that great. But it is a grounded poison with decent stats, so I decided to grab it, and for 1 point, it's probably going to be really good, honestly. I'm kind of excited to see what I can pull off with this thing. Basically, I just drafted it, like I said, because it's grounded poison, and it has decent stats. Next up, we have Electivire. Now, if you watch Season 1, I'm just going to say this. Electivire got almost the same amount of kills as Excadrill, and it had a higher kill-to-death ratio. And Excadrill was on a Sand team, and Electivire still got that amount of kills. If it performs anything like that in this season, then Electivire is going to be one of our MVPs here. I mean, we don't even have a freaking Sand team with Excadrill to even compete with that. Electivire is just, oh, it's such a good Mon. It performed so well last season. I expect it, and honestly, it can perform well this season too. Bulk-wise, it's not that great. 75 HP is okay. 85 special defense is also okay. 67 defense is pretty bad. But, like, defense isn't where it shines. Well, 95 space speed is fine. It actually fills a great hole for my team. So if it's there, 123 attack is nothing to sneeze at. It's actually really good. And I mean, and it also gives me an electric immunity. Even though I don't have anything weak to electric, but you know, we're not going to talk about that. It's still an electric immunity. And it gives you +1 speed, so if you can like bait an electric attack and just get +1 speed, then you're basically Scarfed, but if you're not running Scarf, then you can click between moves. And if you're running Scarf, then you actually just outspeed everything. Even Scarf mods. So like, yeah, very solid Mon. And an old favorite of mine. It's an old favorite of mine from last season. And I'm happy to have it back. And the last Mon is Exploud. Now, why did I draft Exploud? I drafted Exploud because I wanted a Ghost counter that cannot be affected by Will-O-Wisp and is immune to Ghost moves. Now, most normal types don't necessarily beat Ghost, but Exploud is an exception due to Scrafty Boom Burst. Now, do I need to... That's basically the extent of Exploud. Scrappy Boom Burst. You run like Fire Blast, Hydro Pump to cover Rock and Steel types, and then the last move you literally just run whatever. Any utility that you could possibly imagine in that slot. Because like, you don't need another attack. If you're clicking something other than Boom Burst on a non-resist, then you're not doing the optimal damage. damage. It's that simple. It honestly is that simple. I mean, Esplad's pretty one-dimensional, but it's still a solid mon. It has good it has good HP. Its defenses aren't that great. Speed neither, but it can still hit hard. And it's still a solid addition to the team for only 5 points. It's not on the same level as Electivire for 5 points, but like, it's still really good and it fits the team well. So I decided to grab it. And that's the team. That's my team for this season of the IPA. Maybe I'll be making changes. Maybe I won't. You'll have to stay tuned to figure out. Cliffhangers. Alright, so seriously though, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And that's all I got today. Thank you all for watching again, and have a great day.